I'm sure many people can relate. You have the comfy salary, you may have a great commission structure, you may have a company car, you may have a company phone, you may have all these things that you've accumulated, let's say, and then to pull all that out and walk away from that and kind of go from ground zero is super scary. This type of business that I chose, it's very difficult to do part-time. You have to be in it if you're going to make it work.
And before we dive into, really your business and kind of what you've learned and experienced, over that time, like, I guess, there's a lot of people that maybe are in a similar spot where they've been in corporate for a while now. What can you remember what specifically you were experiencing, like mentally and emotionally at that point in time, that was the catalyst for you to go, you know what? I think I'm going to do this. Because you had been looking into franchising for like 10 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Over those 10 years, I just kept, life kept moving forward. I got married and then I bought a house and then I bought investment properties and then I had kids and I kept getting promoted and I kept moving markets and I kept getting bigger stores. And so I just kept propelling life, and kind of checking off all these goals and boxes. So it made it hard to pull out. And I'm sure many people can relate. You have the comfy salary, you may have a great commission structure, you may have a company car, you may have a company phone, you may have all these things that you've, accumulated, let's say, and then to pull all that out and walk away from that and kind of go from ground zero is super scary. And it takes something, like you're saying, a catalyst to really kind of force you in a way to make that decision. I think a lot of people have a hard time making that decision on their own. And of course, you can try to baby step it. You can try to start the business, part-time and, kind of smooth your way in once revenue gets there and all that. But in my opinion, like it's the Band-Aid effect. Like this type of business that I chose, it's very difficult to do part-time. You have to be in it if you're going to make it work. And so just jumping on it all in. But I think there was a combination of things, but honestly, I think COVID just really did it for most people that I talk to that have started their businesses in the last couple of years. It was just that burnout. It was that, the layoffs and the furloughs. It was just the uncertainty. It was I can't control my income anymore. It's at the hands of these people because of the situation. So it just kind of ramped up all the things that I already knew, but it really brought it full circle during that time. In the car industry, they did not want to shut down the dealerships, completely during COVID. Everyone was working, but we were working with 30 to 40% of the usual staff. So having to have those conversations and, furloughing people and letting go of people and telling others who were staying that you still have to do the job, but now you have to do, the 6 people's job that are not here at the moment. It was just a lot. They brought on a lot of new processes to keep people safe. So there was just all these new procedures that we had to do. We had to clean, the cars every 30 minutes. We had to do all these things. And it was just a lot. It was a lot. So the amount of burnout I was experienced just got even worse with COVID, and looking around and just seeing how everything was handled. I was like, you know what? I think it's now or never. So that I would say was the catalyst.
If you enjoyed this short clip from the podcast, you can check out another short clip right here. Or if you want to watch the full episode of this podcast, you can watch that here. And remember, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge that's power. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.